inadequate staffing levels. This hospital delivers 60 to 100 mothers daily and 27 cesarean sections with a staffing of 37.4%. So the committee recommends that 6.1 billion be provided for recruitment of additional staff to enable Kawempe National Referral Hospital reach 68% staffing level. Right Honorable, the rest is self-explanatory. But Right Honorable and colleagues, please take note of, on page 39, overhaul and remodeling of the hospital plumbing system. It is an issue the committee has noted in the hospitals of Kawempe, Chirudu, Naguru, and Entebbe. Right Honorable, these hospitals are as old as 10 years old, but the plumbing has given way. So we need to take interest in value for money, and plumbing giving way after 10 years, Right Honorable, is very unacceptable. Page 41, Chirudu Hospital, that is vote 17417. Inadequate wage for recruitment of health workers, that is the same, Right Honorable, like Kawempe. Bullet 2, inadequate funding for the burns and surgery unit. Right Honorable, on page 42, the committee recommends that 2 billion be provided to mitigate the shortfall because patients under plastic surgery and burns require a lot of specialized attention and treatment. Right Honorable, purchase of land, page 42, still under Chirudu. The committee reiterates its recommendation that 5 billion be provided to Chirudu National Referral Hospital for the purchase of 5 acres of land to enable expansion services, namely wards for burns and plastic surgery, ophthalmology, general dialysis, and ward expansion. To underscore that point, Naguru, Chirudu, and Kawempe were health center fours on a 1 acre piece of land. So government built upwards 7 stories. So there's need for expansion of these hospitals, land for expansion of these hospitals. Page 43, Right Honorable Speaker. Mulago National Referral Hospital. Right Honorable Speaker, the issue of staffing in Mulago National Referral Hospital can be underscored by the intensive care unit. There's a table there, table 16. The hospital was expanded and increased to 44 ICU beds, but 21 are working. You were there about 4 months ago, Right Honorable Speaker. In the adult ICU, of the 27 beds, only 14 are working. So, Right Honorable, on page 44, the committee recommends that an additional 529 million shillings, 529 million shillings be provided to Mulago National Referral Hospital for priority recruitment of 10 ICU critical staff. That is the annual cost. Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to draw your attention to page 45, still under Mulago, bullet 7, incomplete renovation of Lower Mulago Hospital. The committee recommends that 15.5 billion be provided to Mulago National Referral Hospital to complete civil, electrical, plumbing, and IT works to ensure full functionalizing of the hospital. Right Honorable Speaker, we cannot, as a national referral, get ISO certification. And even for AFCON, Mulago is supposed to be the hospital of. So we have, for now, we have already failed that part. So I think this money has to be provided. I hope the Minister of Finance and Honorable Guang also take note of that. And page 46, to complete the 150 staff housing units, the committee therefore recommends that an additional 4 billion be provided to Mulago National Referral to have the 50 units completed to cater for the urgent need to house critical care workers. And this will probably address the issue of absenteeism. Right Honorable, bullet 9, dialysis. The committee recommends that an additional 2 billion be provided to Mulago National Referral to cater for the shortfall of dialysis services. On the private market, dialysis costs 500,000 shillings. In Mulago, it has been subsidized to 120,000 shillings. That is government's contribution. I mean, the rest is subsidized by government, and that's per session, Right Honorable Speaker. So by December, we had run out of supplies. So we need more money. Right Honorable Speaker, Bullet 10, neurosurgery commodities. The committee recommends that 600 million be provided to National Referral Hospital, Mulago National Referral Hospital, for the procurement of neurosurgery commodities throughout the year.
Doctor, just a minute. In the dialysis,
yes,
you had a problem of human resource. Is that covered now?
Right Honorable, the issue of human resource for the hospital is a general one, and it's captured in the human resource request for the hospital.
For the general hospital?
Yes, for the general hospital. And the workers who work in different departments are part of that, including dialysis.
Okay.
So, Right Honorable Speaker, Bullet 10, Mulago National Referral Hospital has 40 to 60 border accidents daily. And most of those will have head injury. But we do not have a budget line for consumables. So the neurosurgeons, their hands are tied, meaning some of those people die. My humble plea to this House, if there is anything we should appropriate, is that 600 million shillings. Because even us, by the time they call next of kin, you're past the time for intervention. So 600 million shillings be provided to Mulago National Referral Hospital for the neurosurgery department, so that neurosurgeons who we have can conduct emergency brain surgery. Right Honorable Speaker, Naguru Regional Referral Hospital. Page 48, the challenges are the same, like Chirudo and Kawempe, and the recommendations are the same. But the Bullet 3, procurement of a CT scan, their CT scan broke down, so the committee recommends that 1.77 billion be provided to Naguru Regional Referral Hospital to have, the committee recommends that 500 billion for the purchase of a new updated CT scan, which will fetch the hospital some more non-tax revenue. Butabika National Referral Hospital, Right Honorable Speaker, the challenges are the same. Inadequate budget for medicines and supplies, the recommendations are well stated out there. But Bullet 3, insufficient budget for food. The committee notes that since food is part of the treatment and the hospital takes full charge of patients' feeding, and cognizant of the increase in food prices, an additional 2.2 be provided to Butabika Mental Hospital to mitigate the shortfall for feeding. Lack of funds for the completion of the perimeter wall. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, the patients in Butabika are known, very well known. They may not differentiate the boundaries of Butabika, so it's good that we house them safely.
So there is no, the wall is not complete.
Right Honorable Speaker, the wall of Butabika Regional Referral Hospital is not complete, and it has been also, their land has been encroached, so the hospital...
So won't the patients run out? Where is Honorable Macho?
So, Right Honorable Speaker, and I think...
No, but this is a very serious matter. We need the wall fence to be finished because we know the nature of patients that we are handling in that area. So that should really be handled.
Thank you, Right Honorable. And the fact that 13%, mental health illness affects 13%. We can also use this as a study population. Any of us here can be candidates.
We can actually start from here.
So, Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, I would like now to move to regional referral hospitals. That is page 51, the observations, understaffing. Table 17 is self-explanatory. Bullet 2, unspent wage of regional referral hospitals as of midterm financial year 2023-24. That's on page 53. There's a table there showing unspent wage. And the committee had a challenge that much as they have now been cleared to recruit, by the time workers are deployed, it will be June. So of that 72.3 billion in table 8, around 80% is going to go to the consolidated fund. And the committee was thinking, right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, can this money be reverted? I'm not a custodian of the PMFA Act, but I would let the House guide that the money that has not been spent on wage, can it be reverted to other areas of the health sector that need a one-off expenditure? Page 53, upgrade of Entebbe Regional Referral Hospital. The committee recommends that 8.1 billion and non-wage recurrent of 6 billion be provided to enable the complete transfer of Entebbe Hospital to a regional referral hospital. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, remember that Entebbe was a district hospital for Wakiso. It's now a regional referral hospital. So we need that money to enable it operate fully. Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to draw your attention to page 54, dilapidated infrastructure in regional referral hospitals. The committee recommends that Ministry of Health should assess all regional referral hospitals and quantify the amount required for rehabilitation. The Ministry of Finance reinstates 20.3 billion withdrawn from regional referral hospitals for development. This money, Right Honorable, was cut last year, and hospitals like Soroti Regional Referral Hospital are in a very dilapidated state. Number 3, the assessment be done in regional referral hospitals about the status of mortuaries in financial year 2024-25. For mortuaries, I beg your pardon. For financial year 24-25, Moroto and Arua regional referral hospitals should be prioritized for the construction of modern mortuaries due to the very dilapidated state of the existing ones. Therefore, 1.5 billion should be provided for the 2 mortuaries. Bullet 4, 11.8 billion be provided to the Ministry of Health to enable it carry out the much needed expansion and rehabilitation of Soroti Regional Referral Hospital, phase 1. For those of you who have been there, it is in a very dilapidated state. And remember, Right Honorable, they separated twins. So there's a lot of work being done there. Government should look into the possibility of acquiring a grant or loan for the rehabilitation of dilapidated hospitals. Right Honorable Speaker, Bullet 7, page 56, incomplete construction of oxygen plants. Page 56, there's a table there which shows the status of oxygen plants across the regional referral hospitals. The committee recommends UPDF should finalize with the construction and equipping of all oxygen manufacturing plants at all regional referral hospitals. Government should provide an additional 1.5 for the maintenance of oxygen plants at regional referral hospitals. Right Honorable, the issue of unstable power supply, it is across all health institutions. The committee recommends Ministry of Health and Ministry of Energy should ensure that hospitals are connected to dedicated power lines and are charged industrial rates. A cost-benefit analysis of solar power to hospitals should be undertaken by Ministry of Health and Energy. 9 billion should be provided to the Ministry of Health for procurement of power stabilizers for 15 regional referral hospitals. Right Honorable and colleagues, to put this into context, there was a power surge last year at Uganda Heart Institute. People who were on critical life support machines were left in a very critical state, and we had to borrow machines overnight from 2 neighboring countries, thanks to air transport. And when Ministry of Finance gave us money to replace the machines, we returned in the spirit of Pan-Africanism. But this should not be the case. We need these power stabilizers. Right Honorable Speaker, page 21, page 58, table 21, incomplete projects in regional referral hospitals. We put it in a table form to show you there are projects, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, that we started building in 2017, but these have not been complete, and there are many challenges in terms of variation in cost due to inflation and contractors being on site outside their contract duration, and this can present legal challenges. So the committee therefore recommends Ministry of Health should not authorize any new projects for regional referral hospitals until the stagnated projects are complete and fit for use. For any exceptional case, Parliament should be provided with the evidence of availability of funding until completion. 2, government should avail the 79.123 billion required to complete the listed projects. Going forward, all new projects should be undertaken with consultation from Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development and Ministry of Health. Now, Right Honorable Speaker, when you look at that table, there are hospitals like Masaka that requires 590 million shillings. That's the cost of a brand new car to finish their ICU. Gulu requires about 3 billion shillings to finish the interns hostel, and so forth. So we can start with the low-hanging fruits. Right Honorable Speaker, our general observations. Non-tax revenue collections. I think that is self-explanatory, but bullet 1 under non-tax revenue collections, the committee recommends that Ministry of Finance should adjust the NTR ceiling and also return NTR funds to the hospitals. Funds collected from NTR can be used by hospitals to improve service delivery, especially in the private wing, and to maintain hospital equipment. Right Honorable.
Maybe the recommendation should be that the Public Finance Management Act should be amended to the effect that institutions like hospitals should be able to retain their NTR to be able to operationalize. Because it is an operation of the Public Finance Management Act, not just purely finance. Yes.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I think this will...
Can I have the report finished?
Thank you, Right Honorable. And the way you've guided will help in ensuring that we operationalize private wing services. Bullet 2 is private wing services. The committee recommends the budget for private wing services should be enhanced to match with revenue collections. There should be a deliberate effort to support hospitals with capital development funding to construct and provide private wing services. To put this into context, the Women's Specialized Hospital, their private wing generates 6.4 billion shillings annually, and yet we are not using it to full capacity. Projections show it can give us 20 billion shillings, including Mulago Hospital once complete. Bullet 3, the Ministry of Health should revise the current private wing policy guidelines that prohibits recruitment of contract staff. The contract staff can purposely be used in the private wing. If you get a consultant from Nakasero, he can be contracted to come and offer services instead of being a full employee of Mulago Hospital. Functionality of lower level health centers. The committee recommends the Ministry of Health should plan to build capacity and equip lower level health facilities to manage within their facilities. And this really speaks to health center 3s and 4s. If we equip them, make them functional, then we will not have the spillover that we see in regional hospitals. Health financing, Right Honourable Speaker, and the committee also interacted with health development partners, and we are in agreement that the health sector should look for alternative sources of domestic financing. The committee therefore recommends as follows. 1, increase in sin taxes for harmful products such as alcohol, tobacco. If the tax on harmful products is increased by 20%, additional revenue could increase from 95.3 million in financial year 2023 to 126 US dollars in financial year 26-27. Bullet 2, government should consider a national motor third-party insurance fund capitalized by the revenue collected from motor third-party collection. If only 5% of gross premiums collected from motor third-party insurance are earmarked for motor third-party fund, an average of 2.9 could be generated per annum. Government should consider ring-fencing social media tax for upgrading of health centers and for community health financing, as the community health strategy launch remains largely unfunded. We have a community health strategy, but as a health sector, but this has never been operationalized. Finally, Right Honourable Speaker, as I conclude, ICUs in regional referral hospitals. Table 22 shows ICUs in regional referral hospitals. I would like to draw your attention to 3 Masaka Regional, stalled because of 590 million shillings. Namboole, Fort Portal, and so forth. But, Right Honourable, the point I'm trying to underscore, between Katuna and Kampala, we only have 1 ICU in Mbarara, and it has 4 beds. So if it is full, then we can make phone calls to the creator, because sometimes when you're in an ICU state, you may not travel by road, but you may need to be airlifted. And the police told us,
you don't have to put him on order. You know, doctors. A doctor will see you dying and he will say, you'll be fine. Dr. Chris is here. So he's basically saying, if we cannot improve on the ICUs, what else do you have to do? You'll have to go to be with your creator. Yes.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. As I conclude, government policy on health emphasizes access to health quality by all Ugandans as a means of guaranteeing their contribution to the socio-economic transformation. In line with the government's commitment to prevent health care as opposed to curative services, which are costly, more emphasis should be on ensuring equitable access to well-equipped health facilities, trained and motivated health workers, in addition to improvement in the healthcare delivery systems. The committee recommends that a total of 2,707,957,290 shillings. That excludes KCCA, Uganda AIDS Commission, and local government, of which 1.3 trillion is recurrent and 1.3 trillion is development expenditure, be provided for the health sub-program under the votes listed in those 2 tables. Right Honourable Speaker, the mantle of delivering health services rests in this House, but I conclude by saying our pregnancies in this country have run away, especially the teenage pregnancies. And I think we have an epidemic of teenage pregnancies. The beauty about it is we have women members of parliament, so I think we need to take a deliberate stance as this House to address this issue. Otherwise, with a population of 1.5 million,
Ekanya, you're asking what about men when you are the ones who are creating teenage pregnancies? Huh? You are creating teenage pregnancies.
Right, right, Honorable Speaker. We get one.
Procedure on what?
Madam Speaker, our record has captured that one Ekanya is involved.
You're a man. It is men who are causing teenage pregnancies.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
So,
It is not a Kanya as a person, but men.
so right, right, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, listen to the chair. The point is raising is really very crucial. The person who is becoming pregnant at that early age may be your daughter. It could be out of rape, out of what, and that kind of thing. Chair, continue.
So, Right Honorable, our population is 1.5 million deliveries annually. So in 10 years, those are 15 million people. But are we generating enough industrialization to be able to look after that population? Because sometimes it's parish development model and things like that, but we need to look at the upstream factors, address the issue of the population, and a hospital like Iganga gives birth to 7,200 deliveries annually. So in 3 years, that is a sub-county, right, Honorable Speaker? To put it into context. That's a sub-county. Yeah, because that's, yeah. So, right, Honorable Speaker, I beg to conclude, and I would like to thank my committee members and the Minister of Health for their support. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Honorable members, when you hear from what the chair said, the issue of the Cancer Institute, you get the cancer patients lying down, they even have nowhere to be put. It is really too congested. So if we love Ugandans, we love our people, we should be mindful of what we should do in the Cancer Institute. The dialysis center, I went there, as you had the chair say. I went to the dialysis center, I went to ICU, I went to the Cancer Institute, I went to the Women's Center. The staffing, we have the best equipment in Uganda, the best. Some of our people have been saved from Mulago. And if you want to go to a hospital where you can get equipment, go to Mulago. But you find we have the ICU machines, but we don't have the staff. Can't we even just provide for money for staff? When you look at the issue of the interns, we are failing. We are going to continue with that issue of interns, day in, day out, and whatever. And then you have generally the staffing issue, dilapidated hospitals. The structures are dilapidated from sub-county level to regional. Then you find somebody drawing a picture. This is a dilapidated hospital in Bukedea. As if I'm the one supposed to work on it. I'm not government. So we must work on these hospitals really. When you look at projects, even the projects that we have started have not been completed. Can we have them completed? By the way, Loboa has started. Loboa has started, I went there. And then you have unstable power. How can you have unstable power in a hospital, assuming an operation is taking place? An operation is taking place, what happens? There are people in the ICU, there are children in the incubation center. You find there is no water in a hospital. No water in the hospital. Women are delivering. And then you find there is no water. What happens? Then you find a hospital, I will be selfish to say, a hospital of a regional referral hospital, dilapidated. Sorority, whichever. So members, we must take these things of health very, very seriously. Very seriously. And when you're talking about it, it's not about your constituency. I know Nakaseke. First tell me, the ambulances. Honorable Minister, there was a problem here. There was an issue that you issued ambulances. Some constituencies got even 3. Others never got even 1. But since you're going into a budgeting process, it's high time you get constituencies get ambulances.